Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Jefferson County Supervisors. It's 8:30. Welcome. As soon as Supervisor Sandquist is ready with it, we'll get started. Okay, first item of business is to acknowledge the minutes from the previous meeting on October 3rd.
Second.
I have a motion from Drish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We also have meetings of proceedings on October 4th of 2022 at 2:15 p.m. Chair Darren Hamilton called the meeting of the Board of Supervisors to order. Board members present were Darren Hamilton, Susie Drish, Dee Sandquist. The board met with leadership Fairfield. May I have approval of that?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Sandquist to say, or second from Drish. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We also had a meeting on October 5th at 10:30 a.m. Chairman Hamilton called the meeting of the Board of Supervisors to order. Board members present were Darren Hamilton, Susie Drish, and Dee Sandquist. Sorry. The board had training on Iowa Code chapters 21 and 22. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Sandquist, a second from Drish to approve the minutes from the October 5th meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's meet with our county engineer who made it back from sunny Florida.
Well, it was sunny finally when I left, but there were a couple of days there when it wasn't so much. But everything seemed to keep working with me gone. So we've been grading roads, patching concrete, using the total patcher on joints on 34 and 125th. I'm not quite sure where they're at with it this week. We got our check plans back on our chip seal project, so we should finish those up and get those in for, I think, February letting. And then the Cedar Avenue Bridge by 218th Way, excuse me, over by Batavia, should be in DOT letting this month.
Okay, that would be the third week of this month.
Yes, and that will still be a swap project. It's going to be one of the last ones under the wire.
Mhm.
I have not seen the archaeology report on the Big Cedar Creek Bridge over on Libertyville Road yet. Hopefully that'll come so we can proceed with the design on that project. We were taking quotes for both drone survey and instrument rod survey for Libertyville Road and Salina Road, so we can get a baseline for our construction projects, plan future construction projects on those. It looks like the drone survey option is considerably less expensive, about 50% less expensive. We will most likely go with Howard R. Green on that project, on those projects. The one's just over 9,000, the other one's about 6,500. But that would give us a good baseline. Section elevations for the work that we hope to do on those. And we're running the budget numbers on our chip seal. And I think that project's gonna get smaller than I'd originally intended because oil prices surprisingly are still high. But other than that, we had a staff meeting this morning and talked about employee management expectations and emphasize communication between all parties.
Okay.
And had leftover donuts, so that's why we brought them for you.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So Friday night, harvest is in full swing. Imagine that. And there's, was a tractor with a grain cart, and he was filling on the road, which is understandable. I was behind, so I was trying to keep distance because I'm thinking, how's he going to get back in the field? Literally, he pulled up and went through the ditch. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it. But it went down that can't be good for the ditches. I've never seen that before, but there's not that many trackers out our way either. Tracks.
It's not good for the ditch, but was that on, it was one of those track mounted units? Those spread the load fairly well.
Okay. So I was just curious because I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, that's fairly brave. I don't know as I do it, but if he's got the confidence in his equipment to do that,
Yeah. It was just interesting.
Yeah, we talked about that before I left. We had a meeting and discussed that. We prefer that they didn't load and unload on the road. And I told the guys if they were out and about and they saw them, first thing to do is make sure that they have safe sight distances. And if they don't, to either get their vehicle on top of a hill with the flashers on, so that they have anybody traveling has advanced warning, and then go visit with them and see if they can find a safer place to do the grain transfer. So,
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm sure there is, but at the meeting this morning, I didn't have a chance to write many notes down for you.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
It's good to be back.
All right, we'll move on to discuss and consider resolution 22 FCC colon 0049, Tom Drish and the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. Informal resolution 22 FC colon 0049, Tom Drish and the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors. Tom Drish filed formal complaint 22 FC colon 0049 on May 26, 2022, alleging that the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors Board violated Iowa Code Chapter 21 on May 25th, 2022. Mr. Drish alleged that the board held a closed session on May 25th, 2022, without posting it on the agenda, without a public vote to go into closed session, and without stating the reason for holding the closed session. Legal counsel responded to the complaint and acknowledged that the board did go into closed session on a matter that had not been placed on the agenda. He explained that the need for the closed session came up at the last moment. He agreed that the board did not vote in open session to hold the closed session and did not state the reason for the closed session. Iowa Code Chapter 21 requires that a governmental body follow the specific procedures to properly hold a closed session. These include placing the matter on the agenda, Iowa Code Section 21.4, Parent 1, Parent A, holding a vote in open session to go into closed session, Iowa Code Section 21.5, Parent 2, and announcing the reason for the closed session in open session, Iowa Code Section 21.5, Parent 2. The Iowa Public Information Board accepted the complaint on July 21st, 2022 pursuant to Iowa Code Section 23.9. The parties have agreed to the following terms. The Jefferson County Board of Supervisors acknowledges that the closed section on May 25th, 2022 did not follow the requirements of Iowa Code Section 21.5. The minutes and recordings for the closed session will be made publicly available. The Jefferson County Board of Supervisors shall conduct training for all board members on Iowa Code Chapters 21 and 22 Parent Sunshine Laws. They may utilize the PowerPoint training available on the IPIB website as a group at a properly noticed meeting or scheduled similar training through the Iowa State Association of Counties or the County Attorney's Office. The Jefferson County Board of Supervisors shall approve this resolution during an open meeting and include the full text in the minutes of said meeting. Said minutes shall be provided to the IPIB. The terms of this informal resolution will be completed within 60 days of acceptance by all parties. Upon showing proof of compliance, the IPIB board shall dismiss this complaint as successfully resolved. So, do I have a motion to approve the informal resolution?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion from Sandquist, a second from Drish. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, discuss and consider a plumbing problem that we had last Friday. Friday afternoon, we closed the courthouse because we had sewer backup issues in the basement here. I called Happy Land Plumbing to come out and look at it, see if they couldn't get it repaired. They now have that pipe opened and draining properly. A new trap was installed in the basement with a better clean out than what was down there, actually going in the direction to be able to clean the pipe. All the water and everything is back on. All the restrooms are in operable order, and we still have a little bit of smell in the basement, and we will for the next couple of days until it goes away, because there was a lot of dirt and stuff disturbed underneath the elevator, because that's where we found where the plug and the previous clean out was at. What was going on is that there is a built-in trap for the sewer line to leave the building. And just prior to that trap, from the inside of the building, there are two 45-degree angle bends in the sewer line. And that created the problem with the plug. There's also a crack in the elbow where it goes into the wall, cast iron elbow, that was leaking at the top of it, and that's how we got all the water back into the basement without it filling up toilets on the basement floor, the second floor, and the third floor. So we're all back up and going as we should be. There is going to be a bill coming through for this that's unexpected. And when it gets here, we'll have to decide which fund we're going to take that money out of for the repair. All right. Moving on, we'll make committee reports. Did we have any committee meetings this past week?
No, I have not.
I had a Justice Advisory Board committee meeting, but that was it, I think.
Okay. Anything to report from that?
They're working on their 3-year plan that goes to the legislature, so there's more meetings going to happen on that.
Okay. All right. So I didn't have any meetings this last week. I spent most of the Thursday and Friday trying to deal with these sewer issues and getting them taken care of. And but on Wednesday this week, October 12th, Corrections Appreciation Day is going on. So the Southern Iowa District is going to hold a party for its employees out at this old barn, which is just north of Fairfield here. Friday, I'll be at the Southern Iowa Detention Services meeting down in Montrose. And we're going to tour the facility down there.
Yep.
So, all right. Public comments. Any public comments?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Just going to talk about the resolution that was on there. I think that the way it was on the agenda kind of lacks a little bit of transparency, that it's, you just put yourself on there and myself, not the fact that the law was broken with the open meeting laws there with it. I didn't receive any copy of the resolution prior, still haven't seen. I mean, I read it now with it. So just to make it public with it, there was violations of the fact that we were asked to leave before a vote was to go into public or to go into closed session. The fact that we went into closed session without it being on the agenda, and the fact that we went ahead and came out and took a vote, made action on what you wanted in closed session for without it being on the agenda. It was an ARPA work session. Nothing was posted as an actual meeting. Told that it was supposed to happen. I mean, that you had to have this done, but since then bought a building, $365,000, looking at $200,000 worth of upgrades. And now we get told that not sure what we're going to use the building for with it. And Darren, I know you make this personal with me with this. I started coming to meetings about a year ago. And I started coming here, you called me out saying that, why am I coming to these meetings? Am I going to be running against you? I said, no, I have no intention. I've been in public service, 10 years on council, served my 4th year as mayor in Batavia, just trying to see what's going on with the county. Just seeing if there's anything I can do to help, or if there's anything they can maybe do to help Batavia. Go to the public health meeting, ask some of these questions. You don't want to talk in the public health meeting about some of my questions I have about the building, but you want to come to your meeting and call me out during your committee report. My whole goal with this whole thing was not to drag the county through anything, because I could have. It was open shut case that the law was broken with it. Went through this informal setting with it. Basically, the only thing I was looking for was an apology. Told that you're going to do an apology, which I know you don't want to. That's fine. Only supervisor that reached out to me for it was Susie for the apology, and I accepted Susie's apology with it. I thanked her for doing that. But as far as the board being transparent with this, I don't think so at all. To me, this resolution, the way it is, it's slap in the face. As far as I'm concerned, you guys can take it, shove it up your ass with it. That's pathetic.
Okay, any other comments? Any comments from anybody that's on the meeting with us through Zoom? We have Mark Myers, Chris Estel, Marianne Nordyke, Anonymous, and Pat McAvan. Hearing none,
Hey,
then we'll
Darren.
move on.
Sorry, Darren, I couldn't get unmuted. So I guess I have a question. I mean, we were talking about location, the building, et cetera. It might not be appropriate for me to bring it up now, but I don't know what is going on with our location. I mean, this is no surprise to anyone. I feel, as a department head, a department manager, I should be able to report back to my board and give them some kind of time frame on what is or is not going to transpire. We're going to be working on our budgets here pretty soon. So I don't know. I guess my ask of the board, and you can't take action on it today, I totally understand that. My ask of the board is to hopefully get me some kind of answer by the next Board of Health meeting, which will be, I'm looking at my calendar, which would be November 17th at 6 p.m. at the health department. I would request that you all attend, or that we have some kind of decision moving forward on space issues.
Okay.
That's my ask of the Board of Supervisors.
I think what we've said all along on space is we'll have to have a space work planning session. We haven't had that yet. So
Right, but
we'll have to do that.
but when the community and the county are telling me that I'm moving to a location and I haven't heard that from anybody, I know Dee, when I talked to you at ISAC, that was really the first official capacity that I'd heard anything about moving there. So I just,
it may or may not. That's what I've
Right.
always said.
right. No, I know, but to have a building and then a discussion, that's my ask of the Board of Supervisors.
yeah.
And I'm going to leave it
Well,
at that.
Yeah, no, we need to clearly have a space planning work session on that. We don't have any timeline. Again, our preference would be that we get the 2080 with the city of Fairfield.
So are you working on that? Is the board working on that? Or is that my Board of health that
The
needs to work on that?
The city is the one that works on that because
Okay,
it's a
I will-
city-owned facility. And I've been told several times that they do finally have a 2080 agreement, but yet to have seen it. The agreement that was put into place when public health initially went in over there is not on file with the state of Iowa, the Secretary of State of Iowa. And so it doesn't really exist.
Right.
So we haven't had an agreement or any detail on how the building is going to be split up for expenses. And until we have something like that, we don't have an agreement that keeps you there on a permanent basis. There's nothing in place to do that. And with the new fire station being built within the next 2 years and the city wanting to change use of that facility that you're in, whether it's just part of it or all of it, that is entirely up to them.
Right. Well,
We have to have our space planning session before we can come up with something as a plan for how we're going to use the building.
do you have a date for that, or do I need to move forward? I mean,
we
because I
could-
asked the county attorney, and the Board of Health can enter into a 2080 agreement outside of the supervisors. So I've had a conversation with the mayor. I've had a conversation with the city administrator. There's no intention to relocate this side of their building. So I'm just feeling like I, as the health department director, we need to figure out what we're doing. We can't just keep working and not knowing what's really going to happen. I can't plan for anything if I don't know.
Chris, I agree with you. We need to deal with this.
Yeah.
However, this is public comment. We should not be talking.
Well, then I would ask that this be on the agenda for Monday.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If we have a meeting Monday, I'll be going.
Meeting will be Tuesday, probably next week. We have enough for the agenda. All right, that concludes public comments. We will allow claims and approve reports. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from Drish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I would accept a motion to adjourn the meeting this morning.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion from Drish, a second from Sandquist. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much for joining the meeting this morning, everyone on Zoom.